Hey everybody, I wanted to take a second and talk to you just a little bit about the meme essay that you submitted. That particular three-paragraph essay gives you and I both a great deal of information. From that, I can see where you are in your writing style. I see that all of you are so funny. You are witty, you are clever, you're charming. And the one thing I saw in common with all of the submissions is that nobody tried to talk down to the reader. And that is so important. As you know, one of the most important things is how you regard your reader. If you write in a list of things and then you put etc., you're expecting the reader to fill in that blank. How would the reader know what follows, etc.? So there are some things that I marked for everybody to work on. There are things for me to work on in learning how you think and how you process information individually, you individually as a person. A couple of the things that I want to work on going forward, and this is a common problem, and that is the misuse of the word being. That is the biggest trap word in the English language. Being is not a verb. It's really never useful. People say, well, yeah, human being, but why do I need being? Just human. And many times that word is used as a verb, and that throws the entire sentence into either a fragment or a run-on. So avoid that. When you finish writing the essay, go up to search, find next, type in the word being to see if it's in there somewhere. Take it out, find a different way to word the sentence. And that's one thing that I saw in a few things also, and that is stream of consciousness writing. People sit down at the keyboard and write like they talk, and then it loops. And that loop starts with the word which. So we're connecting thoughts. I'm writing a thought and I'm just connecting it to the next thought by writing in the word which, or just continuing to write. When the sentence ended, way back at the end of my first thought. So that's something to work on. These are just little grammatical problems to work on. The thing that's great is that you are brilliant. Your ideas are brilliant. You understood the instructions. 96% of you followed those instructions. 96%. That's a high percentage of people who are doing their best and studying the instructions step by step. The only thing we have to work on now is smoothing it out. And I want to share something with you real quick while I end this. And that is, when I started graduate school, I did really great. Came to the master's thesis, and I went to the director that I had chosen, and he said, write 3 paragraphs on your topic. So I went home and I wrote the floweriest sentences you ever heard in your life. I used big words. I wrote long, beautifully punctuated sentences. I took it back to him, and he looked over the top of his glasses and he said, short, complete, concise sentences. And I said, but this is a master's thesis. If I only write simple sentences, I'm going to look like, I don't even know, I'm not even going to look like it's a sophisticated essay. And he just looked over the top of his glasses and he said, short, complete, concise sentences. So that's what we want to do. Take all those long thoughts when you edit, and editing is required. Take those long sentences and end the sentence. Sometimes several thoughts were strung together and they're good thoughts, but they make 2 complete sentences. So punctuate, end the sentence. The final thing I'm going to say is that this misuse of the word you, we, us, our. This essay, the meme essay, was about you. Not you as a spokesman for everyone in your age category, but you. And I saw way too much overuse of the word we, us, our. And I used a little bit of that in the example that I provided for you, and a little bit of it is fine. I refer to my generation as our generation, and I mentioned a few overview ideas about my generation, but too many of you made the entire first paragraph and second paragraph you, we, us, they statements. You have to learn how to dial that back. This is the only essay where you were allowed to use we, you, us, our, so you know for the remainder of the semester, don't use it at all. But when you start making statements about what your generation believes, now you're speaking on behalf of all those people. And at least one of those people is going to say, that's not what I believe. You're not speaking on behalf of me. So it's always better to say, I feel like this. You are the master of your opinions. You are the master of your knowledge, of your perceptions, of your scope, of your worldliness. You are the master of you. And so nobody can ever come back and challenge your opinion. They may think that you don't have a valid idea, or they may challenge your ideas, but you don't have to worry about speaking on behalf of the entire planet when you just speak on your own behalf. And so it's a power position, the I statement, the I point of view, me, my generation, the people that I knew. I can speak on behalf of the people that I knew to a degree. But remember, that has to be corrected going forward. And in the remainder of the semester, you won't be able to use you statements at all. But look back over what you wrote and see if there aren't 97% of your sentences where you use the word you, we, us, our, where you couldn't have crafted it to say, I, my generation, I feel, my close friends feel, right? Make sure that we work on that going forward. Again, you're absolutely brilliant. You're so funny. Those memes were so funny. And there was one I looked at it and I went, I don't get this meme. And then the essay goes on to explain that that's part of the whole generation's thing, is nonsensical ideas put together. I love it. You guys are doing great. Don't be discouraged by this. Use this as a platform to spring from, to learn from. If you messed up the works cited, that was the very first assignment for the semester. Documentation just has to be there. And remember, as I've said in a couple of comments too, in some of the grade center, I was not born knowing anything. If I say Coca-Cola was the most outstanding brand in 1970, that's not existing knowledge. I wasn't born knowing that. I have to research that. And when I research that, I'm responsible for showing the reader where I found that information. So remember, citations are powerful. They show the reader that you did your research, that you are not making wild statements for which there is no proof, that you are proving your ideas and your points. So those are little things to work on. The big picture things is bright as the sky. You are absolutely brilliant, clever, witty, a little satirical, which I like in writing. I think you are humorists and you are insightful. So keep moving forward. Let's just work on those little tiny things to get that punctuation and word content correct. That's it.